Hello, my name is Shannon McConnell, and today I will be talking to you about authentic assessments and self-efficacy. This lesson has been created for Education 204, Families, Community, and Culture, the Fall Online 2016 session. A brief overview of my observation information. I completed my observation at Meridian Academy, which is in the West Ada School District. Some special things about Meridian Academy are that there must be some criteria that are met by each student in order to be accepted into this school. Some of the criteria that are possible for a student to meet to be accepted into this school are repeating a grade, a GPA that is lower than a 1.5, they have been absent for more than 10% of the school year at their previous school, they might suffer from substance abuse, they may be an emancipated youth, a court or agency is able to refer them, or they may have serious personal, emotional, or medical issues. So at Meridian Academy, I had the privilege of observing Miss Julia Miller. She teaches not only speech and communication, which is what I was able to sit in on once a week, she also teaches reading lab, writing lab, film and literature, and also teaches Freshman Cornerstone. The classroom demographics of the class I observed once a week, they ranged from 14 to 18 years old. On average, there were some that may have been older. The family income of the students that attend this school are mostly low income. The race that were in this classroom that I observed were Caucasian, Latino, Asian. And the class size varies because Meridian Academy within the last 2 years has established a new shift into blended learning where they use a flex model and the students are allowed to have more control over their education, and it allows them more flexibility to attend the classes when they want to attend them, when the sessions are offered, obviously. They still have to meet the graduation requirements for the West Ada School District and the state of Idaho, but it allows for more student choice of when they want to attend class. Maybe it's in the morning, maybe it's in the afternoon, all depending on how they learn best. So those are some interesting things about the school I was at and the classroom I observed. So the first piece I want to talk to you today about is authentic assessments. And later on, we'll also talk about what self-efficacy is. So authentic assessments focus on the mastery of the content as opposed to standardized testing where you're given a bubble sheet that you have to fill out, things like that. They can be given in any way, shape, or form so long as mastery of the content is demonstrated by the student. It is up to the teacher's discretion, and it allows for more individualized education for each student. For example, if you're an English teacher, you might have your students brainstorm with you about how they might best demonstrate that they understand a certain author that you are currently teaching in that unit. This could be writing a song lyrics, performing a small scene from a book they've read or a play they're reading. It is up to the student, and it allows for more creativity and individuality, and is not stressed about standardized testing, and there are alternative ways to show that a student may understand the content. They've mastered the subject. That is, in a nutshell, what authentic assessments are. Now, self-efficacy. The definition of self-efficacy is a person's belief in themselves, in their ability to achieve success. And this is a key component, in my opinion, for students and allowing themselves to be successful and to achieve greatness in their life. Helping students achieve self-efficacy will help them change their mindset in accomplishing goals, facing tasks and challenges for themselves in the future. Along with self-efficacy, I'm a strong believer in the mindset that you have will play a huge role in self-efficacy and your personal belief in yourself that you can achieve success and greatness. So, two mindsets that were developed by Carol Dweck, who has since released many books about her mindset theories. One is a fixed mindset and one is a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is the mindset that intelligence is a fixed trait. You cannot improve upon your skills to alter your intelligence level. You are born with the skill sets you will forever have. Growth mindset. The mindset that intelligence is fluid. You can, in fact, develop new and greater skills. It just requires effort and a change in mindset. So a fixed mindset is, for example, saying, I'm not good at math, and having that be a prevalent thought in your head all the time, which then in turn prohibits you from being successful at math. Whereas a growth mindset, as I'll show you in future upcoming slides, about 2 ways to look at something. People with a growth mindset view I can't do math as, what are some things I need to learn to improve my skills on this to be successful? So here's an example of what a fixed mindset and a growth mindset is. And this poster was all around the school that I observed at, because they are trying to shift each student to have a growth mindset there. So somebody with a growth mindset is going to embrace challenges. They're going to persist in the face of setbacks. They're going to see effort as the path to mastery, and they're going to learn from criticism, and they're going to find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. So this is the idea that intelligence can be developed, which again plays a huge role in self-efficacy, and again it talks about seeing effort as the path to mastery, which is a great thing in authentic assessments. As I mentioned before, on the left we have what a fixed mindset person would state often, and on the right we have what somebody with a growth mindset would state. So we'll just take a look at a couple of them. Instead of saying, I'm not good at this, instead try thinking, what am I missing? I can't make this any better. I can always improve. I just can't do this. I'm going to train my brain. So take a minute to look at each one of these and figure out what you might say over and over in your head often. So now we'll look at the observed authentic assessments that I got to witness as part of my observation. Students were given assignments with many options on how to personalize it to fit themselves, or could approach the teacher if they had their own idea. Emphasis was placed on mastery. Students did not have due dates. They were able to work at their own pace. The teacher did provide pacing checklists and guides to provide suggestions on where to be in order to be on track for receiving their credit at the end of the quarter. So again, with the whole shift that Meridian Academy is moving to, they're getting rid of due dates. They're focusing on mastery-based learning, so a student can work at their own pace and accomplish as little or as much as they want to on a certain subject. If they are really, really good at math, they might get through 1 quarter of math or 1 semester of math in 6 weeks, as opposed to the traditional 9 to 12 weeks, whatever your school's on. And then they might take a little bit longer on another class. So you can go through your classes. The students have the opportunity to go through their classes as quickly or slowly as they want, with the reminder and the motivation and the pacing guides and the pacing checklists to allow them to stay on track for graduation in 4 years. So here's some examples of observed self-efficacy that I witnessed that were super wonderful and awesome to see. So students were able to create their own learning environment. They were able to create their own rules. The students, as a peer group, decided what was to be accomplished in the time frame, and in this case it was a 45-minute time frame to work on their informative speeches that they had to give at the end of the week, or were suggested to give at the end of the week, to be on pace for earning their credit in time. They created mornings for themselves that were to keep them on track for their ultimate goal. So they decided what they wanted to accomplish in that 45-minute time period for each one of themselves, and they were going to hold each other accountable in their own peer groups to help each other be successful and reach their ultimate goal. The teacher Miss Julia Miller, was there only to help facilitate for the 45-minute work session they designed for themselves. And at the ending of this that I got to see, it was amazing how well each of the students worked and how productive they were, and just to see them flourish with this task at hand and the fact that they were able to create their own classroom norms. So now we'll jump into the lesson part of this project. So your mindset will play a huge role in your level of self-efficacy. Please complete the short quiz on the next slide and discover your results. So you guys can pause it on this or come back to it. This is just something I really thought was useful for determining where my mindset was. Once you've finished taking the short quiz on the previous slide, this will help you determine where you sit, whether you're at a growth mindset, you're uncertain where your mindset is, or whether you have a fixed mindset. Now I'd like to check your understanding. So after you've recorded the results from the mindset quiz on the previous slides, what result were you given? Were you a fixed mindset, growth, uncertain? Do you agree with the results you were given? Why or why not? Did you observe any students who had a growth or fixed mindset in the classrooms you were at? Did you observe any type of authentic or mastery assessments in your classroom of observation? Reflect back on the lesson. When someone with a fixed mindset states, "I'll never be that smart," what does someone with a growth mindset state instead? Here's the rubric for what I'm looking for in the check for understanding. And here are my references. Thank you so much. I hope that you have learned something about what self-efficacy is and what authentic assessments are, and a little bit about each of the growth mindsets, which I do believe play a huge role in achieving self-efficacy and play a great role in what authentic assessments are. Thank you so much.